webinar. Wesley, welcome.
Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you for everybody for joining today. So I'm Wes and I am part of the Hilton Field Sales team. And today I'm going to be talking about some of our all-inclusive properties in Mexico and one in Dominican Republic as well. I have recently been out to Mexico as well, which is great. So I've got some really good local knowledge as well. I had a real feel for all of the different properties out there and who they are basically good for. So I will start now, and yeah, if you have any questions, obviously pop them in the comments, etc. If we do have time at the end, I will try and answer some, but I'll definitely get back to you at some point. Okay. So with Hilton at the moment, obviously all inclusive is a relatively new concept. I say relatively new. It's still quite a few years old, but I wouldn't necessarily say that Hilton are well known for all inclusive. As you can see here, we've got 14 all inclusive properties now, and that is obviously all around the globe. It was 12, but we've actually just gone completely all-inclusive, or as of December, for the Conrad, Tulum and the Waldorf Astoria as well. So it is actually 14. We've got 6 in Mexico, 3 in the Caribbean, 3 in Turkey, and 2 in Greece. But again, we are adding to this all the time. I'm just going to play a very quick video. I don't think you can hear the sound, so I do apologize. Oh, was that stopped?
Yeah, it's gone back onto the video again.
Oh, what's gone wrong there? I do apologise about that. We almost got to the end of it anyway. Okay, next slide. One quick question, and if you can all put either a thumbs up or a love heart. How many of you have actually been to a Hilton All Inclusive? Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's quite a few. Excellent. Okay. I mean, that's good. Like I say, I think certainly in the UK market, Hilton isn't necessarily known for all inclusive. Obviously, around the world, certainly in the US, it is. So it's really good that some of you have actually been there as well. So that's great. So if we just go back to the presentation. So the one thing that really I would say probably is a standout from an all-inclusive perspective is certainly the culinary experience you get when you go there. I recently went to an all-inclusive in Rhodes called the Orlos Lindos and sampled 4 of the hotel restaurants at the different ones in Mexico as well. And I can certainly say that the one thing that it prides itself on is the fact that it's elevated all-inclusive. It's classed as a premium all-inclusive. And the main thing for me, I would say, is definitely the quality of the restaurants there. A lot of them are specialty restaurants, and they are, all different themes. So there may be specialist Mexican restaurants, specialist Asian restaurants, local cuisine as well. And I have to say that the food there was on a different level. And I know that sometimes, obviously, all inclusive does get this little bit of a bad rep that it's not always the greatest experience when it comes to buffets, etc. I can safely say here that takes that away. You still get specialty stations there. I know that kids don't always want to, go to specialty restaurants, so I can safely say that you'll still be able to have that really good experience within the buffet restaurants that are at some of these properties. It also prides itself on great entertainment as well. It's one of the pillars that Hilton have introduced as well, and they like to just combine local culture, live performances, family programs as well as holistic wellness as well. So again, something for everybody. Um, Here it says about breathtaking spaces and destinations. What you'll see is that, depending on which brand that you're going to, will kind of define what I suppose the style of the hotel is, whether it be a Curio collection, whether it be a Conrad, which obviously is for luxury, and a Waldorf as well. So it is different everywhere you go, but what you'll find is that they're all in fantastic locations as well. And certainly the ones in Mexico, firsthand, I can safely say that fantastic locations, superb beaches, beautiful views. Yeah, I have to say I was really, really impressed. Moving on. Oh, I'm not very good with this finger, I have to say. Keep going too fast. Okay. So this is something that they've introduced recently, which is called an Easy Go band. So it literally is just a band, and you don't. It replaces basically your keys and your wallet, everything basically you charge to your room. And I'm actually still sadly wearing mine now from 3 weeks ago, which is quite sad. But I've never really been a band person, but I really like this, and the wife laughs at me, I have to say. But it's mine. I like it. So, but yeah, as far as obviously making things easier, it's definitely a USP. I think that you can come out of your room and not have to worry about taking lots of things with you. So this is the current portfolio, and again, it's all of the all inclusives. But as you can see there, from in Mexico itself, you've got the Hilton Cancun, you've got the Hilton Cancun Mar Caribe, you've got the Hilton Tulum Riviera Maya, you've got the Hilton Vallarta Riviera, you've got the Conrad Tulum, and you've got the Waldorf Astoria. You can see obviously there's three in the Caribbean, and 5 in Europe there as well. But today we're just going to be talking about some of the Mexico ones and Zemi Miches, which is in the Dominican Republic. From a traveling perspective, you can reach all of these destinations from, all around the world, a lot of them with direct flights as well, whether it be within the US or Europe. And, I mean, from the UK, I think it was about 10 hours over to Cancun. So again, it's not the worst flight in the world. But it's certainly worth that journey, I have to say. So these are the main all-inclusive brands. So you've got Hilton, you've got the DoubleTree, and you've got the Curio collection. And added to that now, you've got the Conrad and you've got the Waldorf as well. Hilton itself has 26 different brands within its portfolio. So obviously it's very diverse and it has lots for everyone. But these particular 5 obviously do focus on the all-inclusive part of it. So I'm going to go to talk about the Mexico hotels now. So the Hilton Cancun, which is about 15 minutes from the airport. So again, nice and quick transfer after you've had a long flight. You don't necessarily, want a long transfer. The Hilton Cancun, I would probably say, is the biggest all rounder out of the all inclusive ones in Mexico. It definitely has something for everybody. It is quite a large hotel, and it is connected to the Waldorf Astoria as well via a walkway. When you walk in, you get a real friendly vibe, I would say. It's again diverse when you get there. There's families, there's couples, honeymooners, single travelers as well. So there is really something for everyone. But it's a relatively new hotel. I think it's about 4 years old. When you actually go in, when you come off the actual road, you go in through the mangroves, which is it's probably about a 10-minute journey because you have to obviously go quite slowly. But it's beautiful. And in the mangroves themselves, I mean, there's crocodiles, there's a lot in there. So obviously, I don't necessarily recommend walking in them. But yeah, it's really, really beautiful. And then obviously you get to the hotel itself. And the hotel has 2 views as well. So you have a mangrove view, which I believe is a sunset view, and then you have the ocean view, which is a sunrise view. Various different categories of rooms. I'm not going to bore you too much with them, but what I will say is that they are really nicely done. They are quite minimalistic as well, so they are great for families. So that if you do have, for instance, 4 in a room, you don't feel on top of each other because there's furniture everywhere. You can guarantee yourself connecting rooms as well, which you do have to book direct with the hotel. I think it's about $60 to guarantee it. But again, if you've got a big party, that's a great option to have. Um, Moving on to the next one, which is the Hilton Tulum, which is about, I would say, an hour and 15 minutes from the airport. So again, it's not just around the corner, but it wasn't too bad, I have to say, after that flight that we had, because it was a pretty straight run, depending on what time of day, I suppose, as well. But yeah, about an hour and 15 minutes. What I really liked about this particular hotel more than anything was, again, I think it's actually a really good family focused hotel. They have got a really, really good kids club area there as well. It's got its own separate building where the kids can go. They've got their own buffet there. Part of it is supervised as well. There's a water park there. And, again, if you've got families there that, want to have, I suppose, a little bit of peace and quiet maybe from the kids, from the ages of 4, I think it's up until, I think it was 16, they can go there, they can spend time there. And there's lots of different things. There's a cinema there as well. And like I say, the buffet, which is quite cute. It's got a really nice beach there as well, because it is in kind of a bay. And we all know obviously about the seaweed problem that you do have in the Caribbean. But what I can say now is that they've really upped their game from that perspective. It's got nets that catch, I would probably, they reckon, about 80 to 85% of the seaweed before it actually comes in from the beach. And then you will have, certainly each morning you'll have your clear up teams who'll come in and try to get the rest of it away. But it is a nice gentle bay. It is good for kids as well. So it's not wavy or anything like that. So yeah, it is relatively safe, but it is really, really nice. And like I say, I think this particular hotel, I would push more towards families, maybe groups of families, multi-generational. But it is a very, very nice hotel. Again, from a culinary perspective, lots of specialist restaurants as well. And yeah, I think, like I say, if you've got, someone comes to you and says, I'm looking for an all-inclusive, but I want it to be really family friendly, this would be the one for me. Let's move on past that one. Okay, so next one is the Hilton Cancun Mar Caribe, which is in Cancun itself. So it's only about 10 minutes, I think, from the airport. It roughly took 10, 15 minutes, again, which isn't far at all. This one probably has a slightly more active vibe, I would say. I was going to say party vibe, but it's not really. What I would say is that you walk in and you can feel that it's slightly different to the other hotels that I went to. Slightly louder, I have to say. You do have not a party crowd as such, but you could tell everyone was enjoying themselves. We had people in the pool, people drinking, having beers, etc. Slightly older crowd, I would say. Probably it felt a little bit like maybe 30 plus. That was there. Different areas as well. There's some adult only areas there as well, which is really, really good. But the vibe itself was definitely more upbeat. And yeah, the actual beach there is the best beach out of all of the ones that I went to see. Real clear blue lagoons, no seaweed whatsoever. Couldn't see any of that. And yeah, I would say for beach lovers, for people that are looking for maybe a little bit more of an active holiday as well, that's definitely one that I would recommend. They've got beachfront rooms as well, which have their own pools, which is really, really fantastic. And also being close to Cancun and the hotel zone, there's plenty of other stuff to do, to go out and about. You don't necessarily have to stay in the hotel, which is perfectly equipped to do, but you can go out and about as well. I mean, this particular hotel's got 13 pools as well, which is just, it's a ridiculous amount of pools. I'm going to just nip over to Dominican Republic now, so to Zemi Miches, which is one of our newest hotels. It is about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes from the airport. So again, it is quite far. But what I've been told about this particular property is that the area around it feels like Dominican Republic before the mass tourism. I haven't visited this, but I have a few colleagues have, and they said it is an absolutely stunning resort. It's part of the Curio collection, which actually is my favorite brand out of all the Hilton collections. And it's just really distinctive from the time that you actually get there. It's, they say it leans fully into the history and natural beauty of the Dominican Republic. It feels lush, it's grounded, and deeply connected to the surroundings. So it's low rise as well, which I think is really, really different. Again, lot of the hotels, certainly within Mexico, you tend to find they're slightly higher rise hotels. This particular one is very chilled, laid back, simple as well, which and the Curio collection often is. Just under 500 rooms again, which is I don't think is huge at all. 17 F&B outlets, and 4 pools again. So slightly more intimate. It's a place that I really really do want to go, and hope I'm trying to convince the boss to send me, because it'll be nice to be able to give you a little bit more information about it. But what I do know is that it still feels really brand new, and really kind of more of a natural property. For the Dominican Republic. So we're seeing a lot of uptake in this particular property as well. So it's especially we've seen a lot of switch selling from Dubai certainly to Mexico and the Caribbean as well. So again, we've seen a lot of people come to our all inclusives, which we've got great feedback from. Moving on to the last 2 hotels, which really are in our, I suppose, a luxury collection. Now, these particular hotels aren't fully all-inclusive yet. You can go all-inclusive on them, but at the minute, until December, you can still do B&B, half board, and full board as well. But the feedback they've had from an all-inclusive perspective is that actually a lot of people seem to be taking it up, which is why they're moving to fully all-inclusive in December, I believe. Now, the Waldorf Astoria, some of you have probably seen many Waldorf Astorias around the world. It's very traditional, very classic and classy decor, and this one is no different. As you walk in, it's very simple colors, makes it feel nice and roomy, and just that bit classier than maybe some of the other hotels that that are on offer. Service is impeccable. You don't want for anything. It's a touch of a button for the majority of stuff as well. And the Riviera Maya one, it's really the flagship Waldorf Astoria at the moment, from what they're saying. Every room has a plunge pool, which is obviously very rare. From the forget the word now, from the lead-in room. That's the word I'm looking for from a lead-in room perspective, and that combines with personal concierge, Michelin level dining as well, and it is perfect for, I would say, couples, VIP clients, special occasions, certainly people that are used to luxury as well. It's got, like I say, butler style service and award-winning spa, which people can use from the Hilton Cancun as well, because, like I say, it is connected. But it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel, and I would say you're definitely looking for people that want that little bit of extra luxury and just being taken care of that whole time. Only 173 rooms, so that's not a lot at all. And again, the Michelin star restaurants are just fantastic. And lastly, it's the Conrad Tulum, which again, this is the hotel that I actually stayed at, and it's absolutely beautiful. I would say it's barefoot luxury. It's relaxed. You don't feel. And again, some places you walk into and you feel maybe a little bit uncomfortable, depending obviously on what you're used to. You absolutely wouldn't here. You're taken care of from the first minute you walk in, to when you leave. And I felt truly grateful that this is where we actually stayed. Again, 349 rooms. That's not a lot at all. When we were there, they were at 90% occupancy, but you wouldn't know it. Because of the layout of the hotel. Again, it's in a bay in a curved area, and you've got rooms all the way around, and you could feel, you don't really feel like there's anyone else there, which is, for me, is absolutely perfect. When you go to dinner in the evening, again, because of the amount of specialty restaurants, it doesn't feel overcrowded. You feel that the service is amazing, and I have to say the food in these venues was absolutely fantastic. I've got a picture here, which is actually one of my pictures, and I had to put it in because it was that amazing. This is charred broccoli with a sesame sauce, I think it was called, something along those lines. and all I can say is probably the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. Um, and I don't say that lightly. Um, if I could cook like this, I would eat vegetables all the time, and I'd probably be about 5 stone lighter. But it was absolutely fantastic. And everybody that went to this particular restaurant, which was in Ortor, which is their kind of Michelin style restaurant, just raved about the food. And all the other dishes on there were amazing, from the beef short rib to the carrots on skewers. It was just, yeah, it was amazing. But, luckily all of their restaurants were absolutely fantastic as well. 6 or 7 of them. They've got a really, really beautiful outdoor bar as well, which is just near one of the pools. Again, in the evening time, it's signature cocktails. You've got very laid back entertainment as well. And again, just absolutely an amazing property. Um, these are the restaurants that are actually at this particular property. As you can see here, there's lots of different ones. Kengai was one in particular that I really liked. Maratea was fantastic, which is an Italian style restaurant. But they're all great, so you'll definitely find something for everybody. Um, that's really it on all of the hotels. I didn't really necessarily want to sit here and just give you facts and figures for all of them, because I think you can find those out really by yourselves. I think for me, if you have any questions of anything specific, please obviously put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. Having just come back from some of them as well. But if there's anything else that you feel that you might want to know about Hilton in general, this is the place to go, the Hilton Content Hub. You just have to put it into Google and it will come up. There's literally everything that you could want to know on there. You can see here that this is one obviously is about Zemi Miches, but there's absolutely everything. If there's anything you need, obviously for customers, etc., or just that little bit more detail, certainly this is the way to go. But also feel free to email me. You should all probably have my email address at some point within this presentation. So yeah, feel free to take it and drop me an email. And that's the presentation so far. We do have one last thing, which is very, very exciting, and it is the August incentive. I'll go on to this bit here. So what it is it's a weekly draw. So you have to, any booking that you've made for any of the hotels that have been mentioned today will be put into a prize draw, and it will be drawn weekly. I'm not sure what day of the week it will be drawn. I'm waiting for that information, but
It'll be me. I'll draw it on a Monday, get sign off, just so we can check that everybody, well, they will be registered on the system, and then it will be announced probably Tuesday onwards.
Okay, fabulous stuff. And I think there's a PDF coming out that again I can forward on to all of you guys. I'm just waiting for that actually to be completed. But yeah, I'll have all your details on there, how to log your bookings, etc. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please feel free to, like I say, pop them in the chat, and I'll get back to you basically as soon as I can.
Thank you very much, Wesley. You've made me very hungry though.
Well, with the
food
broccoli,
looked incredible in those restaurants.
yeah, honestly, they're the best restaurants I've ever been to, and I've been to some fantastic places. Having been in the industry for 30 years, we're very lucky that we get to go to some of these places. But the food here was just so authentic, and you could see that the chefs used to come around and ask how was it and everything. You could see that they take real pride in their food, and yeah, that's why I put on about 1 stone, I think.
Well, I think for any of those people that have been to the Hilton All Inclusives, they'll know, because this is a difference between the Hilton All Inclusives. They really do focus on the food. So it's great that you've been able to cover that and kind of explain the differences as well. So thank you very, very much. We do have a couple of questions. If anybody has got any more, pop them into the Q&A. So Neil, he is asking, are you offering the 50% TA rate in Mexico for 2027?
Oh, that's a good question. Someone else asked me that, and I'm waiting for the answer. I really hope we are, but I can't tell you at this precise minute. But I'll come back to you on that.
Perfect, no problem. Jennifer's asking, the Waldorf RM, is it moving to adults only in December, or am I confusing it with a different property?
I think you're confusing it with a different property. It's just moving to fully all inclusive.
Okay, perfect. Are there any adult only resorts?
There is a there is a new resort coming up that's just being it's transitioning very soon over to Hilton. I think it might be adult only. I will double check on that one because I think they're still deciding. At the moment, no. But this one, because I think it's adult only at the moment in its current format.
Okay.
So we're
And
taking it
then,
over, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'll come
okay,
back to you on that.
perfect, no problem at all. Well, you'll have the email addresses of everybody in the questions, so you'll be able to reach out to them. I think the majority of them will have an adult only area, won't they? Like, I think you mentioned that in the presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think because the hotels themselves, that they are quite large hotels, although intimate maybe in size as far as rooms are concerned, they are on big plots of land. So all of them will, every single one has an adult pool somewhere, except for Hilton Tulum. That's the only one that doesn't have the adult pool, but that's because it is more family focused.
Okay, perfect. Rob is asking, does the Content Hub include videos and reels that we can use for our socials? I saw a video option there. Can you explain more on that, Wes?
No, and the reason I can't explain more of that is because I actually don't know the answer to that, but I will get the answer to you. I've only actually, just so people are kind of aware that I'm not just palming you off, I've only been with the business about 12 weeks myself, so I'm getting to know all of this stuff. I believe it does, but I
I
don't want to say
definitely,
yes.
yeah, I definitely saw there was, it said educational videos. So I would imagine that there will be videos on there that you can
Yeah,
download as well with the
it's
fact
just,
sheets
just
and everything.
yeah, it's just whether you can use that for social media, whether they'll let you. Yeah, that's something I don't know.
Okay, no problem. So you'll check that for us and
Yep.
let us know. Okay, perfect. Um, Sharon's asking, can we have your email, please? Can you pop it into the chat, Wes? I will send
Yeah,
it out to everybody
absolutely.
tomorrow anyway, but just so you've got it in the interim. Neil, we've answered your next question about the adults only section, so hopefully you heard that. Tammy's asking, is the Hilton Cancun no longer adult only?
No, no, it's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question I think we've got in here is how do you book the travel agent rates?
Oh,
There's a
again,
code, there's a code you put in on the system, on the Hilton system. I think is it TA? There's a certain code, but I'll get Wes if you can do that in your follow-up,
yeah,
just
we'll
so
do.
that people know how to do to book the rates. But yeah, it's just on, I think it's just on the Hilton website. There's a code you put in. So Wes will send that out
Okay.
for you. Perfect. That is all the questions answered. So don't worry, I will send this copy of the recording out. You will have his contact details as well. It will also be featured on the My Caribbean Rewards program as webinar, so you'll be able to go back and have a look at any point if you need to review anything. Wesley, do you have anything else to end the webinar?
Yeah, no. All I would say is that if you have any questions about anything Hilton, please feel free to email me. I'll do my best to answer them. Hopefully by that stage I'll have more information as well and be able to answer things for you. But yeah, it does. It can be about anything. I'm looking after really all inclusive and resorts, but even if it's city based, I can point you in the right direction. Um,
Perfect. And hopefully, Wes, we'll see you on some more webinars because you might have noticed through all the questions that you're getting that we've got a very highly engaged, very, very big bookers that come on our webinars. So hopefully we'll see you again very, very soon on the next webinar. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Leanne loves Hilton. Yeah, I think we all love Hilton. Great product, great brand. But any other questions you've got, please reach out to Wes and he will be very happy to answer them for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Wes. Much appreciated. Bye, everybody.